Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Stellaris, where we are playing MegaCorp as MordCorp, the greatest corp in the world. All your things are belong to us. I created something. Right, so what is going on? Well, we are slowly but surely taking over the expanse of territory which is completely blocked off from anyone else, and we can control basically all of this. We are currently have excuse me, trading relations with the Adix Confederation, and we actually have an amazing branch office here in Zanity. In fact, you can see it from here, Adix, which is producing us a little bit of money, generating some resources, including some production here. Militarized economy minus 25%. So their economy affects how many corporate goods I get. Well, that sucks. That makes that building a heck of a lot less valuable. 25% less valuable, in fact. I wonder if I can just replace you with something else. Yeah, I can. It'll cost me a bunch of minerals, but this might well be worth doing. I mean, if they've got a militarized economy, then the output of alloys is going to be increased, but that's only 2 alloys. It's way more efficient to be producing consumer goods. Huh. Well, that was a bit disappointing to log in to see. I was like, hey, we make loads of... Oh, no we don't. We also have, I think, a trading relationship with these guys, do we not? Or I might... No, I'm still trying to get a trading relation with them. That's what it was. Their acceptance is still low. We're trying to make their attitude more positive, and we are getting just more relations with them over time, and eventually that should overcome, and we'll start getting some trade deals with these guys going. Then we have the Viking Holdings Inc., who are the guys that I was playing as previously. And they really don't like us. They are criminals and should be taught the foulness of their ways. We've also got the Ubanic Unity, who are not particularly friendly towards us, but they're a hive mind. So we can't trade with either of these. So these two are basically going to be rivals from the get-go. And then these two are going to be rather more friendly, although these two are also rivals with each other. So I do need to tread it a little bit carefully about how I deal with them, because buffing one is going to... or rather, going towards one is going to push the other one away. But I would like to have some friends to deal with these two, although Ubanic Unity cannot actually expand outside of what they've taken already, because both of these are adjacent to a xenophilic fallen empire. Basically, if they build a outpost on either of these provinces, I think that they will be declared war on. So they're kind of stuck there. Viking Holdings can't get to me for the same reason. They would have to come through this section here. And the only way to get to me is via this line here. There is no actual connection between this bit and us here and here. Phobic, xenophobic, you're right. Can I click on a growth portal? You click on the growth portrait on a planet where you have your people and the hybrids. I think I have them pretty much everywhere. Merchant growth 71, 3.9 a month. What was it you wanted, Sea Fighter? That you can decide which pop is going to grow. No. You can't click on it or anything. It's just a hover over. You can't. No clicky. Okay, so, I need to decide what I want to do today. I still want to expand out to here, but that is going to require some more empire size. We're now 12 over the empire size. Tech costs are increased by 5%, and tradition adoption cost is increased by 9%. So, it's already costing me, and it's costing us quite a bit. Leader upkeep and leader cost is also increased, but we have a huge economy, so I'm not too concerned about that fact. because of the silly amounts of trade that we're generating. And they really are quite silly amounts, so we do need to... I think it's through technology you can increase empire size, so we need to get those techs up and running as soon as we basically get access to them. Jatamaris 1A is uninhabited and indeed uninhabitable, but not unvisited. Its surface is littered with tall cenotaphs carved from some mineral not native to the planet. Evidently placed here by some artistically inclined spacefaring race. The monolith's flowing lines deftly chart a history so fantastical it must surely be fictional. Surely. Right, so we are still trying to build up Sergei Prime. Wow, they are really happy here. Huzzah. It's because they're all specialists, and specialists do pretty well in my economy. Actually, one thing I did want to take a look at was my policies. What do we have as an economic policy? No, not economic. Food policy, we're doing nutritional plentitude, which means that we can grow our population faster. Oh, that's why my food supply has decreased. Right, yeah, that makes sense. Trade, we're still doing that, although we could at some point switch to consumer goods, but I still don't think that we need to. Oh, I know what it is. It's a species. Right, there we are. And then living standards. I think both of them are going to be on decent. Yeah, they are. We could take a look at this. So we could make everyone go onto social welfare, which will make the rulers have less of a vote, the specialists don't change, and it gives the workers a bit of a vote. Upkeep will go up because the workers gain more, but they will also have more happiness. In fact, workers and specialists will both gain happiness if we do that. That's kind of interesting. The specialists gain in happiness even though they themselves don't gain anything. I'm very tempted to do this. It is going to mean that we need to work out our consumer goods shortage, and that shortage is only going to increase. It would be quite nice to get a breakdown. Oh, you can click on these and you open the market. That's kind of cool. It would be nice to get a breakdown of the goods consumed by every population strata, so I can see exactly how much this would cost in terms of worker. Now, seeing as we are currently consuming 54 for the population, I'm going to assume that probably 70% of our population is workers, because we do have quite a few of them. So I would say that's probably going to be an increase in consumer goods, maybe 30? So if we can find a way of getting plus 30 in consumer goods, then I think that is doable. Workers become less dirty and smelly with social welfare, making the specialists more happy, since they have to interact with them unlike the rulers. I was going to suggest more research buildings, and I saw your consumer goods income. Consumer goods income is not something that's impossible to increase, though. And in fact, I can do it very easily with a simple switch of the button from full wealth generation to not. So my trade would go down to 110. So we would lose out on 60 energy credits. But just by increasing my trade even more, I think we can overcome that deficit. It might mean that we need to start using some technicians, which I'm a little bit loath to do, because that's another... That's basic. At the moment, we can ignore one entire district type, which means that we can just run larger cities and larger industrial populations. Although, for a truly functional industry, you need a lot of buildings. But then again, considering how much growth we are currently going through, getting a lot of buildings is not impossible. At that point, it's the jobs that become a problem. Because every city district houses 5 people, every factory can use only 2. Fun fact, there are 666 people who are watching the U4 right now. Fair enough. let's just take a very quick look at the planets at the moment. So Gelderland is still doing civilian industries, and we are actually trying to move away from the civilian industries. I know that's contrary to everything I've just been saying, but that's because these three worlds are far better at generating research, and Gelderland is far better at generating trade because there is no distance. Any trade that Gelderland creates, we will automatically collect. And we are very good at creating trade. We have a lot of modifiers. Amenities is another thing that we're short on. And having been watching the dev clash, the family is doing so well because they have a ridiculous number of amenities, which means their stability is high, which means their general output is really high. Because happiness... No, stability adds a 7% resource generation from jobs, 7% trade value, and also 5 immigration pull. So if you have high amenities and high trade value in Gelderland, that would be quite amazing. I'm actually kind of curious, are there any leaders that boost trade value? Crime, leader experience, leader experience. No, in other words. Jessica Prime actually has a free building slot. Jessica Prime has in the past been working on research, but we could well put a industrial building here. I really wish that factories came with more jobs. I guess that's part of the balancing mechanism, because it's forcing me to get more industrial zones just because industrial zones come with clerk jobs rather than specialists. But you actually have 2 spare housing right now, so building an industrial thing here would work. So I'm going to put a... I kind of want the industries in these 2. Because these are where my districts are. That's where the resource generation comes. Don't they get more jobs if you upgrade them? There's no way of upgrading them. Hey, Father Zale. I can give you a quick rundown. So, we are playing as the merchants. We are a mega corporation, just the standard MegaCorp. We have the civics trading posts, so we have +4 starbase capacity so that we can just maximize the number of trade hubs that we have got. And we've also got free trade, so we are increasing the amount of trade value and also the branch office value. So, loads of money coming in from trade internally, and we're just starting to work on the branches for the external trade. We are playing as the merchants, who are thrifty for even more trade value from jobs. +10 habitability, which I'm kind of regretting a little bit. That has not been as important as I thought it would be. Housing pop housing usage is +10%, and we're also wasteful, so we use more consumer goods. And this consumer goods issue is causing me a lot of problems, actually. Because I really want to be getting more research, I want to be having less consumer good factories, and I can't. The other thing I could actually do is export people to Sergei Prime. Sergei has got open jobs, so those are going to be miners. So Jessica Prime doesn't have any miners. Gelderland, however, does. So does Stephen Prime. In fact, you're short on housing. So I'm going to send one of the population from Stephen Prime, which is going to be a miner, to Sergei. That'll help you growing. And then we can get another miner from somewhere else to do the same thing, and then Sergei Prime can build another district so that we can get their population up. Because once you hit 10 population, you can then upgrade the reassembled ship shelter to being a planetary administration. Once you do that, then this no longer counts as a colony and is instead a full-fledged city. And that matters because while it's a colony, it suffers 50% growth reduction, which sucks. So I want to get that up and running as quickly as possible. Mike Prime is the other place that could send you population, although Mike Prime is lacking in people itself. I think Mike Prime just needs to be left alone to build. Oh, we have an employment here. Who's unemployed? Specialists. Of course it's freaking specialists. Okay, so I'm going to send 2 workers. So we'll stay at 35 so that the corporate culture site doesn't become defunct. And hopefully some of these specialists will start demoting. Because we have too many. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're going to send Heldeland to Sergei. When they arrive, they're going to be unemployed. Hang on, no, we should do that when Sergei has actually built the new district. Which is going to be another mine.
Research actualized.
I'm having problems with the admin soft cap. I've only just reached it. Well, I'm 12 over it at the moment. And yeah, it's hurting a bit because it's limiting the number of districts I can build, although I'm kind of ignoring it in terms of districts. And more importantly, it's limiting the amount of starbases I can get because I really want to take over this. There are only 2 ways into my nation. This line and this line. All of this has been locked down and can only be reached by me. And I'd kind of like to gobble all of that territory up. So even though this is supposed to be a tool for corporations, just the geography of my area means that I can play wide, and I kind of want to. Okay, so we've got the social thing for that. We can get even more growth speed. Sure, I've sorted out my mineral shortage, so I think we can afford that. Also, we are under our military cap. So I think that we have sufficient forces for that as well. Did you get all repaired up? You did. Wonderful. So we can go and send you to go and hunt down those those mining drones. Birth of the galactic market. The customers, clients, and rubes of the galaxy at long last seem ready to accept a quasi-centralized platform to deregulated mid-scale international commerce. We can promote one of our worlds to play host to this commercial hub and maximize potential revenue. Hello, Galactic Hub. I would like to nominate myself. I have enough money. I have enough influence. Let's nominate Heldeland as the Galactic Hub. Base marketplace competitive rating strong. This world has been nominated to serve as planetary underpinnings of a future centralized galactic market station. Its relative standing is strong. Damn right it is. This is the earliest stream I've ever seen Mordred do. It's every single Sunday. Every Sunday I stream at 3, but it's usually the multiplayer. But the multiplayer is stopped. Because other people have other commitments during December, which is totally reasonable. Nice early stream. Thanks for the bits there, Fishy. So this stream is at 3, the next stream will be at 7, and obviously each one is... Well, no, the first one's only 3 hours, the second one's still 4 hours. The second one's supposed to be Total War Warhammer, but I'll be doing more Stellaris. While it's still preview. What we had assumed was an abnormally small gas giant is in fact not. Beneath a deceptive cover of thick dust swirling in the upper atmosphere lies a regular planet. Barren planet, but a planet nonetheless. This has proven quite embarrassing to the astronomical community on Heldeland. So, Kosk 1 is a barren planet, and Tuna gains 200 experience. Huzzah, Tuna! Alright, and we have another tradition available. So we can get the Utopian Dream, which means that our population uses less amenities, which is a huge deal. Or we could get Kinship, which means they take less time to demote. Both of these are really strong, actually. Harmony has been a very good choice for us. I kind of regret that we took that 1 point in prosperity. Let's just take a quick look, because I know you're short on amenities. You're not. You are. You are. You are. Yeah, we need the amenities reduction. Let's live the Utopian Dream. And then next up we'll get kinship, although that's getting more and more expensive, especially as we are over the empire size limits. The Marinkarin Floral Fascination. Several plants native to Sergei Prime, where we recently established a colony, exude copious amounts of pollen with an astonishing chemical complexity. A special research project has been prepared to further study the flora. Oh dear, I know what this one is. We are going to go to the sit log. Flora study. Requires a science ship. We have one science ship that's off somewhere. When they return, we can task them to Sergei Prime.
Detritus analyzed. Upscaling complete.
And also, you are still building things. I think you're already building the research stuff there, so mining stations, research stations, go. And you've returned. And you are in fact in Sergei Prime. Go ahead and research those projects in Sergei Prime if you would be so kind. And then I think that, yeah, Sergei has built that district, so Heldeland can now grab the 2 miners and resettle them on Sergei. Okay, and Sergei now has access to the first building. That first building should probably be a commercial zone. That is my usual opener. Commercial zones are great because they produce trade value and also amenities. Okay, the amenity requirement did go down everywhere. Jessica Prime still has that building. I still haven't decided what I want to do with it. We have the 2 surplus housing, so it would make a lot of sense for this to be a factory or a research lab. I think I'm going to go with the research. And Stephen Prime, do you actually have an orbiting science thing? You don't. Do you have any research labs? You do! Oh, mistake. Alright, Cardelant, I would like for you to build me a science ship. And then I would like to get another leader, which is going to be the scientist that sits in orbit. Ooh, another anomaly discovery chance. Although I don't need those so much anymore. I think it can just be any of these, so we'll just choose the youngest. And your name will be... determined momentarily. Howlet. Howlet. Okay, and then once that science ship is built, we can put you in the orbit of Stephen Prime and have you adding more science. Father Zale, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. On closer examination, the planets native to Sergei Prime, the plants native to Sergei Prime, turn out to be rather dull. Some excrete pollen that have a mild stimulating effect, and they're likely to have a propensity for rapid genetic change. Hardly impressive enough to warrant adopting as a strategic or luxury resource. So is that actually a thing that boosts growth speed? No. And you also need to start building another mining district, I think. Once we have the money for it.
Identified.
That also means that we have a spare science ship. Yes, it does. And you are a research speed anomaly thing. This is, in fact, no, this is Museum, not Tintuna. You are my generic explorer. You just discovered these guys. Yeah, we can continue exploring down this way. Can't we? No, that's cut off by... We can get there. Oh, no, can't. So we're going to fly you down this way, and then we'll continue exploring into the darkness of this interior zone. Through hard work and experience, Lothian Tam has developed new skills. Excellent. What skills have you developed, Lothian? Resilient. Ooh, nice. Live for another 25 years. Nice skill to develop. I wish I could develop that skill. And you, Gelderland, have unemployment. You also have a free job, so this is just people not demoting quickly enough.
Upscaling complete.
And we have the science ship, which we're going to assign Paulette to. And we're going to zoom in on Stephen Prime, where we will then grab the science ship and have you assisting research for another 12% research boost. Huzzah! I like Stellaris, but I get bored with it after a while. That was certainly my problem with it in the past. I found that I'd play one game of Stellaris every time a new expansion came out, and I'd really enjoy that game, and then not want to play it again. Hopefully that changes with this expansion. This has really added a lot to the economy, which is the part of the grand strategy games that I tend to enjoy the most myself. So I'm hopeful. Still really need some fixes to diplomacy, though. Diplomacy is still the big issue, because once the big federations and alliances are established, they're static. Nothing changes there. And they need to. Otherwise, one side will tend to snowball, and then it's game over. Thankfully, we do have the endgame crises, and I think the endgame crises, generally for me, are like the end point. Once that's defeated, then I'm done with that game. Amazingly, while conducting their survey of W1123254, the crew of the Johnny 5 picked up several life signs coming from within the asteroid. There appears to be a colony of large burrowing worm-like lithivores within the rock, which has been riddled with tunnels. These unique life forms have somehow adapted to a life in the coldness of space. Study them.
Upscaling complete.
Construction ship's done. You're already working on that. Let's go for Nostea. Mining stations, research stations. I can't believe that these are so close to my homeworld and I still haven't upgraded them. That's kind of crazy. And we've got research. Aha! Gas extraction wells. I was just about to say, we seem to have a couple of strategic resources we could probably develop. And now we can. Get an Elgate into insight. I don't think we're ready for that. Robot assembly work plants. Hang on. Gives a roboticist job. Roboticists turn minerals into new robot pops. And then we can get robot workers. Robots are relatively simple machines capable of accepting verbal commands but processing no true intelligence of their own. Capable of simple worker jobs such as mining and farming. Or we could have cheaper corvettes. No, I think the robots are going to be good. Improve the economy. Build up the resource output of our nation.
Outlier identified.
Unusual readings suggest there may be more to this desolate world than meets the eye. Cool. Enemy ships. Ah! We've arrived. Are we still using the old model Snikers? Yes, we are. That's fine. Snikers are like perfectly suited to destroying mining drones. Diplomacy is what they're working on now. They were going to put it in with this patch but decided not to since they're overhauling a lot of stuff already and it just not have worked out. That does make sense. I mean, diplomacy is the obvious choice for the next big update. Lasers. Pew 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 pew. I would zoom in and watch this properly, but we've seen several fights against mining drones already. Nothing new. Destroy the mining station. And there it is. This area is now available. Long-term exposure to the pollen naturally occurring in Sergei Prime's atmosphere acts on the colonist pheromone receptors with a mild aphrodisiac effect, accompanied by a barely perceptible high. The plant that produces the most potent strain is a flower common to all areas of the planet, squirreled away in some obscure taxonomic knock by scientists on Sergei Prime, but known to the local Mordredians simply as Marin Karin. Cannot allow mind-altering particles in the atmosphere, lose some energy, or plus 10 happiness. Yeah, we'll have the remarkable plus 10 happiness, please. I don't see how this could possibly go wrong. The magnetic field of Jargon 4 experienced a complete reversal while it was being observed by Johnny 5. This rare event has interchanged with the positions of the planet's magnetic poles. Fortunately, it was all recorded by the sensors of our ship, providing our scientists with lots of valuable data. Good. And Sergei Prime has finished building its commercial zone, which means we can now import a bunch of people, and also we can build a city district. So we need clerks, and we need lots of them. Clerks definitely want to be merchants. What's your population? 36. So you can afford to send one merchant to Sergei.